Pembrey circuit in South Wales. About to get underway with our second race of the day, so a good race of the British Truck Racing Championship just before lunch. And now it is time for something new we've not seen on BARC TV before, the Quaife Mini Challenge Trophy category. First of three races for their BMW Mini Cooper S's this weekend. Rising stars of saloon car racing here at Pembrey. They'll be out on track very shortly for their first race. First of all, earlier on today, our race interviewer Ewan caught up with some of the drivers down in the paddock.
So thanks for joining us down here in the paddock, here with our pole sitter in the Mini Challenge Trophy, Matt Hammond. First of all, Matt, let's just talk about your pole lap.
Oh yeah, it's difficult to make some space, to be fair, and that's one of the main problems. So obviously took a few laps to get that done. Hadn't really posted a time. Look behind me, I think there's 4 cars trying to get past. I let them pass and realised there's a big gap, so I dropped back, give myself a lot of room. I don't think the tow makes too much around here. I just wanted a clear sight. Stuck the old headlights on, show them on a hot one, and then just went for it. So could have gone probably a little touch quicker, to be fair, but I just wanted to make a clean lap. Yeah, it come across the line next time round, P1, and I thought, we'll see what it is, come in, and it was better than the times I've been doing in testing. It always is. So yeah, just parked it.
Now, conditions, it is 10:30. It is already roasting hot here. What are the track conditions like?
It's super abrasive here, so I think tyres are going to play a big part, and obviously the race now being 20 minutes is instead of the 15 is yeah, I think that's going to be a limiting factor for a lot of people. So I just want to stay out of trouble, you know, keep up the front if we can, and get away.
Let's talk about trouble, because last season, 3rd in the championship, but you were leading it for a long time. Now, on one race, airlifted hospital, had several crashes. Just tell us about last season for those at home that aren't aware what happened.
Well, yeah, it's very quick. There's a lot went on last season. So pole won at the first opening round, and then I come second on the grid at Fruxton, got a first and a second. Pole again for Brands, pole again for Alton Park, and then Brands Hatch had a massive roll. I got tipped into a roll there in race 2, so I had a win and a DNF, and the car was destroyed. Alton Park, pole again, a race 1 win, which was quite nice. I've never done well there, so I was happy with that. And then yeah, race 2 it all went wrong. I went in the tyre wall backwards. I lost feeling in my hands and feet, so I didn't want to go to hospital. I did make a fuss about it, but they airlifted me off to Stoke. People at Stoke are really nice. Hello to them if they're watching. Yeah, thought about giving it all up, to be honest. But you know, Accelerate have been with me the whole way. I worked with them for the touring cars as well. They pushed me to get me back in the car. My mechanic Jamie, new sponsor on board as well to help me rebuild the shell in metric. Yeah, we built another car, and after 4 cars, come 3rd. So yeah, it wasn't too bad at the end.
Now, started your season well. Now, Adam, get your camera in this car here, because we very rarely see a car, I know it's first race of the season, that is super clean and tidy there. Tell us a bit about what you've done with this car over the off-season.
So yeah, it's an R50 shell. I think it's a 2003 model. We stripped it out completely. I like things to be super clean. So we've stripped it back to nothing. We've resprayed it inside, outside, engine bay, fitted all the championship parts. We salvaged whatever we could from Alton Park, but there wasn't much, to be fair. It was all bent, so we repainted all the subframes, done all of that, new suspension. And yeah, I keep getting ribbed by the team for taking more of the dash out, but I've got to have my cup holder in there.
Matt, great start to your season. I'm sure we'll be speaking to you a lot throughout it, but congratulations on your pole.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, guys. Top job.
Right, let's go and see who else we can find in the Mini Challenge Trophy grid. So we've moved a bit further down the paddock here, and we're with last year's runner-up in the championship, Louis Capozzoli. Louis, talk us through last season, your runners-up position last year, first of all.
Yeah, we came into it obviously as a rookie, and the goal was always to just have a bit of fun learning year. Coming towards the end of the season, however, we found ourselves in a obviously almost title deciding spot. Obviously coming into the last round, we managed to get the rookie championship wrapped up, which is kind of what we came for, to be honest. And then we found ourselves going into the last race with the ability to win it. So it was kind of always a bit of a far-fetched final race, but obviously unfortunately in the end, great, we didn't get a chance to win it, but congratulations to Dom. It was a great year. And yeah, it kind of just gave us the momentum going into this year, really.
But Dom not racing this year, does that make you the favourite?
You always put that added pressure on yourself, obviously. Like you said earlier, me and Matt are the two highest returners. Obviously, although we come back as the highest returner, everyone, you know, you do put that pressure on yourself, but obviously I'm still only 19, I'm still learning, so it's just about progressing now more and more, just trying to be more consistent and almost be more mature on the racetrack, really. So it's just about taking those little steps. I'm still learning every day, so yeah.
Now, we've spoken to Matt, he's on pole. You're going to say down in 11th, maybe not used to that position. Talk us through your lap this morning.
Apologies for cutting that interview short, but the Minis are on the grid, as you can see, and they are on their way round on their green flag lap. It'll be a standing start and then a 20-minute race. The grid reads as follows. Matt Hammond, who we just heard from, is on pole position alongside number 95 of Nelson King. Second row, Lee Pearce, number 23, alongside Nicky Taylor in the 17. Row 3, Tom Ovenden, the ex-rally crosser, alongside the top rookie on the grid, Oliver Meadows. Row 4, Alex Solly and Alfie Glennie. Completing the top 10, Charlie Mann and the experienced Joe Wiggin. On the 6th row, 486 Jack Byrne and 199, the man we just heard from, Louis Capezzoli. The 7th row, Nathan Edwards starts alongside Tyler Lidsey in number 10, the ex-Renault Clio Cup racer. Row 8, we've got Luca Marinoni Osborne and Alex J. 9th row, Mike Paul alongside Ben Jenkins. Row 10 is James Parker and John McGladrigan. 11th row, Brendan Fitzgerald from Ireland alongside David Sterling, the guest class racer this weekend, one of quite a few Scottish racers on the grid. Row 12, Clark Wells and newcomer Jonathan Sargent. The 13th row, Frankie Taylor, the ex-Ginetta Junior racer, and Morgan Root, another graduate from the world of rallycross. Penultimate row, row 14, Mick Fitzgerald and Paul Manning. And the final row of the grid, Barry Holmes, alongside newcomer Sophie Wright in car number 3. Well, this is really the training ground for touring car stars of tomorrow. The Mini Challenge, sponsored by Quaife Transmissions. Their main JCW class races alongside the BTCC, the British Touring Car Championship, on their support package. And the trophy class that we've got here today for the identical BMW Mini Cooper S 1600cc cars, they have got 3 dates on the touring car support bill this year. It's their opening race of the season here at Pembrey, the first of 3 races this weekend. And it's Matt Hammond, who was champion in 2017, who will start on pole position. There are subclasses among this field as well as the overall championship. There's the Rookies Cup for first season newcomers, the Graduate Cup, which is for second year drivers, and also there's the Directors Cup for drivers aged 35 and over. So everybody's got a different trophy to battle for. A colourful grid of, we should see 30 BMW Minis out there for this one in Quaife Mini Challenge Trophy. Matt Hammond, the 2017 champion, in pole position for Accelerate Motorsports, works for their BTCC team as an engineer as well, as we heard earlier. He's got Nelson King alongside him. He was 10th in the championship last year. He drives for Graves Motorsports. It's the blue car there on the outside. The second row, 23 Lee Pearce, multiple champion in stock car racing on the short ovals. He starts alongside Nicky Taylor in the Dayglow yellow number 17 car. 7th in the championship last year with 1 win to his name. Look out for number 24, Tom Ovenden, comes from a rallycrossing family, driving for the Accelerate team as well. This will be a 20-minute race. Plenty of names to watch. Got quite a few graduates from junior racing. Alex Solly, the ex-junior saloon car star. Alfie Glennie, 8th on the grid in number 27. Former star of the Fiesta Junior Championship. There will be a new name on the overall trophy this year. Dom Wheatley, the reigning champion, having moved on to pastures new. See the heat haze here at Pembrey. It is a warm day. The green flag is waved by the marshal at the back of the grid. The red lights will come on in the next few seconds, and when they go out, the race will get underway from a standing start. Matt Hammond looking for his 2nd championship. We are underway for 20 minutes of racing down towards Hatchett's Hairpin for the first time. It's a good start by the 78 of Matt Hammond. Good start by the 17 of Nicky Taylor on the outside there, as well as they head into Hatchett's Hairpin for the first time. They are all away cleanly. How many of them there are? Around 30 cars out there. Sophie Wright with a good getaway, her first ever race in the championship, the number 3 from the back of the grid. They're all round Hatchett's Hairpin okay. As they head out towards the back of the circuit, a challenge on for the lead. Looks like Nelson King has got around the outside to take the lead. in car number 95. King leads it from Hammond, the pole sitter. Nicky Taylor up to third. Lee Pearce is fourth. Oh, somebody down the grass there on the inside. That was Alfie Glennie in the number 27, the green car there. Car number 41, that is Joe Wiggin, very experienced racer, former Mazda MX-5 champion. He's won 24-hour races in Citroen C1s as well. Somebody sideways in the background there, we'll try and identify that in a moment, but it is Nelson King, car number 95, who holds the early lead. They come round to complete the opening lap. There's Joe Wiggin, number 41, side by side with 486. That is Jack Byrne, champion in Irish junior racing and junior rallycross. Many of these drivers looking to get into the British Touring Car Championship one day. Nicky Taylor all over the back of Matt Hammond as they break for Hatchett's hairpin for the second time. Nelson King leads the way then. Up into fourth place is Lee Pearce, number 23. He's won many titles in stock car and banger racing on the short ovals. His running mate Clark Wells will be further back down the order, number 711. Fifth place is Tom Ovenden in number 24. Behind him, Alex Solly in the black and yellow number 12 there, the former junior saloon car race winner in his Saxo. Louis Capozzoli, who we heard from earlier, is next through 199, last year's rookie champion and runner-up overall. He could be a favourite for the championship this year. Nelson King, our race leader, is in the Graduate Cup for second-year drivers. Matt Hammond is the first of the Directors' Cup for the more senior drivers in second place. The leading rookie at the moment, further down the order, is Jack Byrne, number 486, coming across from racing a Ford Fiesta last season in Ireland. Quite a few Irish and Scottish drivers out there. There is a dedicated series for cars similar to these at Knockhill in Scotland, the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup. It's Nelson King who leads the way from 78 of Matt Hammond. They're all fanning out behind. This really is like touring car racing in miniature, isn't it, here almost at Pembrey? These cars certainly not miniature though. These are very potent race cars, these 1600cc BMW Mini Cooper S cars. First three breaking away slightly in the early stages. Nelson King looking for his first win in the championship with Matt Hammond on his tail. Nicky Taylor in third place, then it's Lee Pearce, Tom Ovenden, Alex Solly. Capozzoli is next ahead of Nathan Edwards in the number 21. Rounding out the top 10, we've got number 20, that's Charlie Mann, Wild Thing as he's known. Rounding out the top 10 is Alfie Glennie after an enthusiastic start in the number 27 X Fiesta Junior Star. Down towards Carter's Curve they come then. You can see the first three breaking away. Hammond under pressure. Nicky Taylor flashing the headlamps there. He wants to come on by. 21 of Nathan Edwards battling it out with the number 26 there. Somebody is off towards the back of the field. That's on the run out of Senna. Not too sure who that is. We've lost the number 46 on the first. That was Paul Manning, and also 99 Ben Jenkins has pulled into the pits. A couple of casualties early on. Number 12 Alex Solly under fire from Louis Capozzoli in the turquoise car. 21 Nathan Edwards next in the white machine. 4 minutes gone, 16 to go. We're just beginning to warm up in our first Quaife Mini Challenge Trophy race of the season. Pearce under fire for fourth place. That's Tom Ovenden in the red, white and blue machine behind. Family based down in Kent, have done most of their racing at Liddon Hill in rallycross over the years. Capozzoli running a little bit wide there through the right-hander at Brooklands. Long speedway straight up towards Carter's. Still Nelson King with the lead ahead of Hammond and Taylor. It's battles all down the order everywhere you look in this race. 77 car there. That is Alex J, another graduate of junior saloon cars. Had a couple of wins in the Saxos in his time in the series. That's the 86 of Oliver Meadows up there behind him. He's the son of Ron Meadows, the sporting director of the Mercedes Formula One team. Moving up from karting, Ollie Meadows here this weekend. Bit of a change there up ahead. I think that's a back marker being passed amongst the lead battle. There's Jack Byrne, 486. He is leading the rookie class at the moment, the young Irishman. On the tail of Joe Wiggin, number 41. He's doing extremely well to keep up with Joe. He's won a whole variety of races in saloon cars and Mazda MX-5s over the years. He's won in the BMW Compact Cup, among other things. There's Alfie Glennie chasing Nathan Edwards. That's the battle for 8th place. Glennie getting past Charlie Mann in the number 20. Wild Thing, because he tells us his grandfather was the bass player for the Trogs, and of course their biggest hit was Wild Thing. Leaders go through Carter's Curve. Still plenty of laps to go. Charlie Mann fighting back in the red car, on the tail of Alfie Glennie in the 27. And on their tails, number 10, Tyler Lindsay, the ex-Renault Clio Cup racer. Pretty busy here as they head down towards Hatchett's hairpin for what will be the 6th time. It's still Nelson King who leads the way at the front, ahead of Matt Hammond by 0.4 of a second. Nicky Taylor still on the tail of the 2 leaders, and he's done the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 8.8 seconds. BPS 4th, Tom Ovenden 5th. Capezzoli is up into 6th place. He's got ahead of Alex Solly, see there briefly. Hammond trying to close the gap down again. There's PS in 4th, Ovenden, Capezzoli up to 6th, then Solly, Edwards, Glennie, Charlie Mann right behind them, and Alfie Glennie trying to make a move here as they go towards Brooklands out of centre. He moves back to the outside. There wasn't room there to take Nathan Edwards. It flings the car almost rallycross style through Brooklands corner. Pembrey, a popular circuit for the sport of rallycross, but they're keeping it off the infield today. Nathan Edwards, I wonder, on the grass there on the inside. I said keeping it off the infield. Has to be careful there, Charlie Mann. He doesn't want to get warnings for exceeding track limits. He's got Tyler Lindsay's number 10 on his tail. Behind them, Joe Wiggin and Jack Byrne. Byrne still leading the rookies. Nelson King is in the Graduates Cup for second-year drivers. Alex Solly did eclipse the back of Louis Capezzoli under braking for the hairpin. Matt Hammond in second leads the Directors' Cup for drivers aged 35 and over. He is effectively 4 championships in one. There are some drivers not contesting any of the other 3 classes, and the first of them is Alfie Glennie. There's a battle further back. That's Byrne trying to hold off Lindsay, and in behind them is the 41 of Wiggins. So Tyler Lindsay getting into the mix here, side by side down towards Brooklands. Joe Wiggin has got the inside in the 41. He goes through. That's up into 11th place. And behind them is Ollie Meadows in the number 86, another contender for rookie honours, making the move up from the world of karting. Just under 12 minutes of this race to go. There is Meadows, the number 86 car. The car not liveried like a Mercedes F1 car. Still the lead battle remains the same. Less than a second in it between the top 3 of King, Hammond and Taylor. It's Lee Pierce ahead of Tom Ovenden. Alfie Glennie's got ahead of Nathan Edwards further back there. The green car's got to the head of this battle for 8th position on that previous lap. Charlie Mann now under fire from Jack Byrne. Fastest lap of the race recorded by Alex Solly, the number 12. He's down in 7th place. Midfielders go through the crossing, then up towards the right-hander at Senna. Sideways there, Nathan Edwards in the 21. Driving on the edge of adhesion here. Alex J still trying to hold off the number 711 of Clark Wells, that is behind him. The black and orange flag has been shown to a car further back. Mick Fitzgerald, number 7, towards the rear of the field. Technical problem, he needs to pit. Fitzgerald, not to be confused with the former jockey of the same name. The Dubliner is going to have to pull into the pits. Just one car with problems so far that has pulled up 46. We lost on the first lap, Paul Manning. Here's the leaders. A bit late on the brakes there, Nelson King into Hatchett's hairpin, and now here comes Matt Hammond. The former champion can sense a chance to take the lead. He's dropped Nicky Taylor slightly. Through the crossing. Here they come. It's the long left-hander out of Dibeni and over the crossing. There's Pierce in 4th. Ovenden has pulled away from Capezzoli in 5th. Round the right-hander at Senna go the leaders, and leader has in fact been able to pull away a little bit there, Nelson King. Leading the Graduates division, the Directors class is Hammond ahead of Pierce and Clark Wells. Jack Byrne leads the rookies ahead of Ollie Meadows and Luca Osborne. Class DG, that's for drivers who are both Graduates and Directors Cup, is being led by John McGladrigan further back in the field, the Scotsman. Nelson King starting to pull away very slightly on. He's had a better run on the second half of this lap than Matt Hammond. This is where Hammond's stronger though, down towards the right-hander at Hatchett's hairpin. Lee Pierce 4th, then it's Ovenden, There's Glennie. New fastest lap for Lee Pearce, number 23. Now he's in clear air, of course, the leaders holding each other up slightly. Nathan Edwards under fire, as is Joe Wiggin. That's Jack Byrne, the youngster, on his tail. Just to the outside, though, is Wiggin right up on the curb. Behind them, the 86 of Ollie Meadows. Just under 9 minutes to go. Still plenty could change in this race for the Quaife Mini Challenge Trophy. Any one of them makes a mistake, there's going to be dramatic changes in the race positions. Lifting a wheel there, Nathan Edwards, he's so quick through this section of the lap, but isn't quick enough to hold off Charlie Mann in the number 20. Fifth in the championship last year, had one win. Behind there's Joe Wiggin, Jack Byrne, Ollie Meadows. Alex J heads the next group. Many of these drivers, as we said earlier, with ambitions to get into the British Touring Car Championship someday. Maybe we'll see Matt Hammond in there, works for the Accelerate Motorsport team. Still 0.6 of a second behind Nelson King at the end of that lap. Somebody rejoining from the pits there. That's the number 7, Mick Fitzgerald. So he's been in with whatever the problem was. Up the inside goes Charlie Mann. Takes Nathan Edwards. Under braking for the hairpin. There's Fitzgerald, but he's slow away there. So that problem persisting, I think, whatever it was. Going to change for 6th as well. Alex Solly has taken Louis Capozzoli. Lee Pearce has done the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 8.53. And he's going for the 3rd place man, Nicky Taylor. 4 together shortly for the lead here. Nelson King, Hammond, Taylor and Pearce. Nicky Taylor, the number 17, challenging the leaders early on, but now he's going to have to watch his mirrors because Lee Pearce is up there behind them as King leads them across the line. Are we going to see a move for 3rd place here from Lee Pearce? He goes to the outside, now switches back to the inside. He sold the dummy to Nick Taylor, up the inside under braking, and he's through. Up on the curbs there on the inside, good move. Lee Pearce up into 3rd position. Mini handling certainly a little bit differently to a 1300 stock car. He's up to 3rd and now chasing down King and Hammond for the lead. So that bit of defensive driving for Nicky Taylor, a slight gap has opened up. These two taking a bit of time off each other, but now Pearce is through. He can go after him. Top 5 rounded out by Tom Ovenden, the ex-rallycrosser. Another ex-rallycrosser further down the order is Morgan Roots. You may see him start to come through. Nine cars still running. The last of them is Ben Jenkins, who went into the pits early on. First 4 clear of Ovenden, and a bigger gap back to Solly in 6th place. Capozzoli is 7th in the turquoise car in the background. 8th behind them is Alfie Glennie, then Charlie Mann and Nathan Edwards rounding out the top 10. Under 6 minutes to go, and Nicky Taylor wants that 3rd place back again. In the Alarm Company sponsored car. Might be alarmed shortly because Tom Ovenden is starting to catch up. His last lap was a couple of seconds quicker than Nicky Taylor. There are the leaders, still Nelson King out in front, heading for, he stays in front, what I think will be his first win in the championship. He was 10th in the series last year, driving for the Graves Motorsport team based in Essex. Big squads in this series, Graves Motorsport, Accelerate, LDR Performance Tuning, I believe that's run by Lawrence Davey, the ex-Legend star. If I am wrong, I apologise. BPS running a couple of cars in this series as well, also Morgan Root run by Mad 4 Mini. Big crowd certainly loving the action from the Mini Cooper S's. Marshall's enjoying it as well. There's a close fight going through Carter's. That's Joe Wiggin under fire from Ollie Meadows in the 86. He's going well. Got ahead of Jack Byrne in the Battle of the Youngsters. In terms of the classes, King still leads the Graduate Cup out in front. Hammond leads the Directors' Cup. And the rookies are led by Ollie Meadows. So that's a change for class lead. Ollie Meadows has taken Jack Byrne. All lock up there from Joe Wiggin. Just about holding together. He's going to run wide on the exit. This is Ollie Meadows' opportunity to get up the inside there. can see he's a novice. He's got the black cross on the yellow background on the back of the 86, and he's alongside the more experienced Joe Wiggin, who holds him off. Great fight here for 11th overall. Another 3 cars come through behind them as well. Alex J, Tyler Lidsey, and that's Luca Osborne behind them. 4 minutes of the race to go. Still Nelson King leads overall. Here comes Ollie Meadows. He wants to get past Joe Wiggin. First races following his move up from karting, and he's driving brilliantly here, Ollie Meadows. Joe Wiggin has won races in the BMW Compact Cup. He's won 24-hour races in the Citroën C1s, including an amazing win at Silverstone a couple of years ago in the Mack Attack Racing team. But he's under pressure here from the young guns. 3 more cars charged through behind. Your leader is still King ahead of Hammond. The lead gap has come down a little to 0.4 of a second. Lee Pierce has dropped back behind them now in the 23. Ollie Meadows all over the rear bumper of Joe Wiggin. And look at Jack Byrne trying to come back into it as well, going round the outside, up onto the curb there. There wasn't room there for 3 out of Hatchett's hairpin. Meantime, this is the battle for 3rd place now. They've dropped back from King and Hammond at the front of the pack. Very slightly, you can see them go through Brooklands there, and Tom Ovenden is now right with this pair battling for 3rd place. Lee Pierce defending vigorously from Nicky Taylor, and he's going to have to attack and defend at the same time because Tom Ovenden is up onto his bumper as well now. King's pulled away into the lead by a few car lengths. This is great stuff all the way down the order. Lee Pierce a little bit unstable there as he brakes briefly for Honda Curve. Can Nicky Taylor get into the slipstream here as he heads down? Can Tom Ovenden get into the slipstream? He has a look heading down into Hatchett's hairpin. This is great stuff. Taylor goes for it. No, you don't, says Lee Pierce. Holds him off for 3rd place, up over the curb on the inside. And now Alex Solly wants to join in as well. The Dayglow yellow car there behind them. So as I pause for breath, the lead gap is coming down. Here's a 3 wide moment into the hairpin. Joe Wiggin, Meadows, and up on the curb goes Wiggin. He always does there, and this is going to allow Jack Byrne up the inside. That's delayed Ollie Meadows, and through goes Byrne. He's going to go past both of them, heading through Spitfires there. Superb from Jack Byrne. Side by side, and Wiggin's all over the curbs. He's bouncing around all over the place. But Jack Byrne has just retaken the lead, or has he, of the rookies class. And here comes Alex J as well. He's saying, I want a bit of this as well, in the 77 car. Jack Byrne has retaken the lead, and Jay slips through as well at Senna's. So Jack Byrne back into the lead of the rookie class. Here's Tyler Lidsey up the inside as well. Oh, poor old 86 of Ollie Meadows just lost 3 places through that half lap alone. Just under 90 seconds of the race to go. There's half a second in it for the lead between King and Hammond. Alex J was the big winner out of all of that in the 77. Getting past the number 10 there of Tyler Lidsey. Works the lift engineer. Certainly has been going rather up and down the order here, hasn't he? Still your leader is Nelson King. There's a back marker ahead of them. Now I think that's the number 50 car, which is David Sterling, about to be lapped. It's the car we saw have an off early on. Still Nelson King from Matt Hammond will get 1 more lap out of this Quaife Mini Challenge Trophy, race 1 of 3 this weekend. Can Nelson King hang on for what I believe will be his first win in the championship? The 50 car is going to be shown the blue flag by the marshals to warn him to move out of the way and give the leaders their line. Just to warn him that the faster car is there behind him. He does move out of the way at Honda, lets the leaders through. Good driving by number 15, David Sterling. Just under 20 seconds on the clock, so we go into the final lap, half a second in it. Is Matt Hammond going to be able to attack here on this last lap and take the first win of the season? Or is it going to be a first win for Nelson King? Some 4 seconds clear now of Lee Pierce in 3rd place, and it's Taylor. Alex Solly has got through into 5th position ahead of Tom Ovenden. It's all about these 2 for the lead. There we can see in the background the grey and yellow car of Solly is up into 5th ahead of Ovenden. Leaders head through Senna for the final time. About 3 mini lengths in it between the two. Oh, we've had a crash at the hairpin, and that's Alex J. The 86 of Meadows and Tyler Lidsey. So that battle has come to a head attach its hairpin for the last time. It looks as though Alex J may have gone into the back of one of those cars, but we'll see what happened possibly after the race. Here come the leaders down towards Honda for the final time. Is Matt Hammond going to get up the inside? I don't think he is. They're coming up towards the line now, and it's going to be a win for Nelson King. He takes the flag. There's yellow flags there as well because of the incident attaches. Matt Hammond comes over in second. Pierce is third, just ahead of Nicky Taylor. Alex Solly fifth, and sixth goes to Tom Ovenden. Seventh place will be Capezzoli. Alfie Glennie is eighth, just ahead of Charlie Mann. Nathan Edwards will complete the top 10 in number 21. Then Joe Wiggin and Jack Byrne in 486 wins the rookies after that battle came to a head just behind him with that collision on the final lap. Luca Osborne is next home. He's the second rookie over the line. Late confirmation of third in the rookies. The win in the Graduate Cup goes to Nelson King, the overall winner. The winner of the Directors' Cup is Matt Hammond. And the other group that doesn't fit into rookies, directors or graduates with no class designation next to them is won by Alfie Glennie in 8th place. We'll try and see what happened there with that incident into Hatchett's hairpin for the last time. We were watching the leaders, but a tangle in the midfield. And Nelson King takes what I believe is his maiden win in the championship, so congratulations to him. Okay, we'll try and see a replay of what happened there into Hatchett's hairpin, hopefully in a moment, with the midfield incident. As the cars head round on their slow down lap, we can hopefully see what happened there. Now it looks as though it was the 86 of Ollie Meadows may have missed his braking point there. You can see a lot of bodywork off his car, and he's gone into the back of Alex J, and you can see the rear damage to Tyler Lidsey. So Ollie Meadows may have just missed his braking point there. We're just checking that all the drivers are okay. Safety car is down there. The medics, just as a precaution, it looks as though the drivers are getting out of their cars okay.
Hammond, Lee Pierce, 95, 78, 23. Those are the three numbers that Gary needs to intercept. He's cleared the space.
We hope all the drivers are okay there. We can confirm the result. So the win goes to Nelson King, and he takes the Graduate Cup as well. 0.37 of a second was the winning margin over Matt Hammond. He wins the Directors' Cup, and Lee Pierce completing the overall podium in number 23. Nicky Taylor was fourth, ahead of Alex Solly and Tom Ovenden. Good fight between those four for third, fourth and fifth. Behind them, Louis Capezzoli in seventh. Alfie Glennie was eighth, ahead of Charlie Mann. Nathan Edwards completing the top 10, ahead of Joe Wiggin. 12th place, and the win in the rookies goes to number 486, Jack Byrne. He won the Rookie Cup ahead of Luca Osborne. And then the number 4 of Mike Paul and Frankie Taylor, the ex-Ginetta Junior racer, completing the top 15. Behind them in 16th place, it was the number 30 of James Parker. And then behind them we had number 34, John McGladrigan, running in both the Directors and Graduate Cups. Clark Wells was next home in number 7-11, ahead of number 98, the first ever race for Jonathan Sargent. Well done to him. He was next home in 19th. Completing the top 10 was Morgan Roots. First of the Fitzgeralds, Brendan Fitzgerald was next in number 60, ahead of the number 88 of Barry Holmes. 3 of Sophie Wright completing the finishers. We lost Jay, Lidsey and Meadows in that last lap tangle. David Sterling a couple of laps down after visiting the pits. There were problems also for Mick Fitzgerald. For Ben Jenkins, they finished a couple of laps down after pit stops. And the number 46, Paul Manning, was an early retirement. Okay, we now hand down to Ewan in Parc Fermé, and he is going to be talking to some of the drivers following our first Quaife Mini Challenge Trophy race of the weekend.
Cheers, Dave. Thank you very much. I'm down here with Lee Pierce, third place finisher in that race. Obviously, out in front, these two guys, but that race was all about third, and you held on there right to the end.
Yeah, well, I think I see Taylor in the mirror for pretty much most of the race, so I just thought if I can keep him behind, I was happy with the two in front. There was about 5-10 car lengths clear, so I knew I wasn't catching unless anything went wrong. But other than that, yeah, we started P3, so I'm happy with P3.
How was track conditions? Because it was hot this morning. It's really cooled down by about 5 degrees over the last sort of half an hour or so.
Yeah, well, qualifying was only 15-minute sessions, so the extra 5 minutes that we had in that race, the tyres started to go off towards the end, but we managed to manage them pretty early on. So, yeah, other than that, yeah, the car was good.
What other difference does that make? Stretching the race to 20 minutes instead of 15. Prefer that as a driver?
Well, the more time in the car, the better. But yeah, as I say, the tyres seem to get hot and they go off towards the end of the race, and that can change a lot. I went back to 4th place in that race, and then I think his tyres must have gone off or something. I managed to nick the space back, and yeah, P3, that'll do me.
And your second race is the last race of the day. What do you go and do now? Any changes whatsoever?
Probably just check the car over, a fresh set of rubber on the front, and then that's about it, really. And
Third place on the grid, third place finish. Well done.
thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Right, let's go and speak to Nelson King, our winner over here in the car number 95. Nelson, that became a two-man race after a little while. Matt was on pole, you held him off.
Yeah, I don't know how I held him off, to be honest. He kept me on my bumper like every single lap. I had a few good corners on the last sector to get away from him, but it was a good race. I made the move at the start, which is all that counts, and came across the line first, which is all important.
I mean, like, for that entire race, he was almost like tethered behind you. How annoying is that, not to be able to shake him off behind?
I think it's more annoying when you can't go for a corner, just a little bit chilled out. Every corner I was pushing, getting a bit of lock up, getting wheels from the exit. I was just pushing everything I could. And yeah, but it came off in the end. I didn't even realise it was last lap. I came round, saw the checkered flag, and I was like, happy days, I'm there. You know, so no, it was good. It was a really good race.
And you're a young driver, aren't you, right? So these guys have got a bit more experience than you. So what are you putting down your success down to here?
I put my success down to my team, my driver coach, to be honest. Brilliant. Max and Alex do loads of work for me, and Sam and Dave this weekend have been phenomenal. The setup and all the choreography between the team has been on point. That and my sponsors getting me to the track with BHRV is what made this happen today, so I'm really happy with P1.
Brilliant. And second place on the grid, converting that to a pole. Second race later on this afternoon. I'm guessing you don't do much over the next couple of hours before that race, just sort of tidy things up a little bit?
Chill out a little bit, do a bit of data, and then go back again. I think I'm a bit tired, so I might have a little kip beforehand, but no.
You're too young to have a kip, surely?
Oh, I'm not that young. I may look it, but I don't feel it. Yeah, but maybe these older people might need a bit of a kip in between, you never know. But yeah.
Mate, great racing, great entertainment, congratulations.
Thank you.
Cheers, buddy. Right, let's see if we can speak to Matt Hammond. Where's Matt gone? Has Matt left us? Where is Matt?
On the podium.
He's getting a shake. Oh, he's over to the podium. He's running back. Look, he's running back. He can run just as fast as he drives. Come with us, Adam. So we've got 2 races for the minis today. It's the only class we're following today, other than the trucks that have 2 races. Well, you're going to get your trophy, weren't you?
Yeah,
And first of all, we spoke to you before the race. Great qualifying. Nelson had a great time out there, didn't he?
Yeah. He was sealed on the start, really. He just said to some other guys, I had a really rubbish start. So he got past me. It's not worth writing off on the first race meeting in the season. So just stuck in behind him and just hoped he was quick enough to pull a gap over the others, which he was. So I think Lee helped out the gap once he made it, between us when he got into third. So fair play to Lee and a good drive from Nelson.
And for that the second half of that race, you were within like 3 car lengths. What are those marginal gains that you need to do? Are you waiting for him to make a mistake?
Well, it's funny. It's like I could have put a bit more pressure on him. I did on a couple of corners just to see what he would do, but he was cool as anything. So he soaked it up and just carried on his race with fair play to him. But yeah, I mean, it's when you're that close, going into a braking zone that much, it's like a split second, and you've gained another 2 metres on somebody. But then it might be too much, and you end up in his boot. So it was just take it easy. Around the back, I think he was braking early for the last turn around the back as well, difficult corner. So just stuck in behind him really, and when the gap was there, it's not worth doing anything else, just bring the car home. Yeah.
So pole and a second place in your first race. Great start to your weekend. Look forward to seeing you later on.
Brilliant.
All right,
Thanks,
cheers, buddy.
Cheers.